Still on the legal implication of what happened in the book of Genesis chapter number 3, I want to bring it to our consciousness that God is an impartial God and God of justice indeed. How do we know? All the people that we have found culpable in that rebellion were all brought to book and judgment served. Quite unlike Nigerian nation, who would pick up a man who is campaigning for freedom of his people and label him a terrorist, judging him without existing laws, and at the same time allowing all the real terrorists in the land going scot-free from all the atrocities they are committing. And that is why I keep reminding this nation called Nigeria that it will be very difficult for God to remember you with mercy. The reason is that you have so much neglected the nature of God and you are just playing Luciferian activities devoid of godly inclination and fear of God. I want to say that it is high time we fear God in this country, or else God will pounce on this nation with judgment that knows no bound. And God, being an impartial judge, would come, not minding whose ox is God. Look at the way he served judgment here. Permit me to draw your attention to my earlier video, which I have presented before us, and a content therein by reading this book of Genesis chapter number 3 and from verse number 13. And the Lord God said to the woman, okay, let's begin from the serpent. He said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? Have you violated the law I commanded you to keep? The man said, the woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruits from the tree and I ate it. Then the Lord God said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. Have you seen the procedure? When I say it is a legal issue, you have to understand the proceedings in the law court for you to understand what happened here. These people were not muddled up and their mouth muddled up without saying anything. God presented all of them to the dock where they stood before the impartial judge, and questions were thrown at them for them to defend themselves. And God gave them time to defend themselves. What an impartial judge. It is only in Nigeria that I see lawyers, judges sitting on their seat, and they would not give the defenders chance for them to defend themselves. Even when the defendant is talking more reasonably than the judge himself and all other lawyers present, the judge would just decide to go ahead and trample on the law and the process of the law. Can you see how God handled this? He first of all asked the man. The man said it was his wife. He said, okay, can I hear from the wife? The wife came. He asked her. The wife now said, it was that serpent. And God said, okay, permit me to say, it is high time we learn how to listen instead of coercing or pressing people. One of the worst tragedy that has befallen African countries is that they have developed this evil attitude of not allowing people to say their mind. You have to hear people out. It is just like what happens in our open society on a daily basis. When something goes wrong and you want to explain, somebody will just give you a hot slap. Why? My friend, we are no longer in the Stone Age where people show flex muscle. We are now in the age of sound reasoning, intellectual reasoning. It is no longer the time you oppress people and go scot-free. Our brain is enlarged more than ever. Our thinking faculty is more sound than ever. And the dissemination of information is fluent today. Therefore, If you are one of those who models up people's mouth so that they will not express themselves, it's time you refrain, because you will not prosper in that madness. Permit me to continue this narrative by telling us that God gave them the chance for them to say something as it is obtainable in reasonable law court. And when the woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate, so the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, because you have lured these people into rebellion, not that you, serpent, rebelled, but you triggered these people into rebellion, you are culpable. God, being God of justice and is now about to serve judgment, made it very clear that because you have done this, look at your punishment. Cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. That's the judgment meted on this particular serpent. Remember, serpent here is just a figure representing the Lucifer that entered into this very serpent. So this particular judgment was meted on Lucifer himself. I will not explain this because time will come, maybe next years ahead, I will explain this, because we have embarked on a very lengthy journey of interpretation of these scriptures. Now, let's look at what he told the woman. To the woman, he said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. That's a judgment that came upon the woman. In the whole world today, your race not minding, your ethnic background not minding, your tribe not minding. So far, you have 23 chromosomes in your body, and you're a woman. While delivering a child, you will always see stars. You will not know its number, because of this particular judgment. Again, we saw the deadliest judgment released upon the woman, and he said that, look at it again, your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. That was where God gave man power to rule over woman. Call me Pastor Elisha. In my next video, you will hear more.